Hoy veremos.
La caña flecha.
Today we will see that arrow cane for us is something emblematic.
Algo emblemático.
Bueno, la caña flecha para nosotros.
The cane arrow for us means tradition culture, means beauty enhancement for the woman. What we do in our company, the caña flecha, is our raw material.
La base principal es nuestra materia prima principal. Uno de los mejores.
One of the best cultural references that we have here in the territory.
Estamos en el Cabildo Menor de San Martín.
We are located in the Cabildo Menor de San Martín, a small town of Sincelejo, about 5 kilometers from the urban area of Sincelejo.
Esto es un territorio.
This is an indigenous Cabildo territory. It is a quite rural area where we are located about 504 families,
4 familias y habemos una.
and there are about 1,020 people approximately.
Aquí en San Martín.
Here in San Martín, there are many relevant things. We have to say that San Martín was previously a sugarcane growing area. Sugarcane was cultivated a lot. The men were also dedicated to agriculture, very laborious. The women were artisans by tradition,
Trenzadoras.
weavers of the arrow cane leaves, and today San Martín has had some changes. Previously, it was not an indigenous cabildo. It has been an indigenous cabildo for 24 years, and we women have looked for ways to influence.
La forma de incidir y hemos buscado la forma de.
We have looked for ways to make visible the work. We have looked for ways to make visible the work and all that productive force through the social organizations. In San Martín, we find friendly, welcoming people. We are hard-working people. Speaking of women, we are hard-working women. Here we are dedicated to the whole transformation of the arrow cane. The men work in the fields and agriculture, and some also go to Sincelejo to look for a day-to-day life.
La asociación.
The association was born as an alternative, I would say, and it is an organizational project that is given with the purpose of making women's work visible,
De que las mujeres.
so that women are recognized and also as a way of vindicating women's rights.
Pues ha sido un trabajo.
It has been hard work, arduous work, starting from the fact that because we were indigenous women, our condition led us to live a life of submissive women, of women who were made invisible.
De mujeres sumisas, de mujeres invisibilizadas. Aquí estaba marcado.
Here there was a very strong patriarchy at that time. We are talking about 25 years ago, where women were only dedicated to housework.
Su gran mayoría trenzaban.
Most of them braided. They saw braiding as a way to generate an income, but it was minimal.
Mínimo. Consideraban.
They considered that a meter of braid at 100 pesos did not mean much for them to contribute. However, some went to work in the center of Sincelejo.
Centro de Sincelejo. Cuando yo llegué aquí.
When I arrived here in 1991, I arrived displaced from Los Montes de Maria. I realized that there was a kind of transhumance of women from the center of Sincelejo to here and from here to the center of Sincelejo, and one day I stopped on the road and asked them what they were doing.
Fue cuando surgió
and they told me that they were going to wash clothes and iron. That was when the need for organization arose, and I asked them if they wanted to organize around what. At that time, there were many needs. In fact, those needs still exist. But now women contribute to those needs from other points of view, because through the organizational process, women have been advancing and we women have prepared ourselves.
Y por lo menos entendemos.
Some of us have become qualified, and at least we understand all this situation of shortages.
Tipo social y de alguna manera
And all these social limitations that we have, and somehow through the association of all this training process, we have been able to influence some institutions, and we have managed to advance and contribute in this way to our development and to the development of the community.
A nosotras,
To us, it takes us to work the cane arrow, that tradition that comes from generation to generation. For many years, our mothers, our grandmothers, have been doing the braiding of the cane arrow since childhood.
y para nosotras como asociación,
And for us, as an association in 2012, we were presented with the possibility and the opportunity to start making a finished product, which we could sell at a better price than the meter as such as this product. Transforming 12 years, as an association, we have 25 years of being legally constituted.
cuando nosotras empezamos,
When we started, we did not have a defined profile. We were dedicated to fish farming.
cultivo de peces,
We were dedicated to cattle raising,
al cultivo de pancoger,
to the cultivation of bread, cassava, yams, corn, beans. This was a splash of activities. We realized that most of them had those attitudes and that self-taught capacity to be able to work the braid.
trabajar la trenza. Entonces, en el 2012,
In 2012, the Rural Women's Program came to the organization, and we thought about transforming that braid, which seemed to them to be worth little that meter. We said we are going to transform them, and we are going to elaborate products in arrow cane to add value to it.
a eso. Y fue así cuando desde ese momento nos dimos cuenta que valía la pena
And that was when we realized that the transformation process was worthwhile,
de esa materia prima tan valiosa.
because that was when we began to empower ourselves of that valuable raw material, of that cultural asset that we have here in the territory as an arrow cane. Well, there is a clear way to explain the process, and it is a root that starts with the plant. Maintaining the plant is not easy.
Tiene unas condiciones específicas.
It has specific conditions, but then when the plant is already large, the leaf is worked on and the leaf is cut. For us, sometimes the most difficult is to get the raw material, to get the arrow cane as such, because in dry seasons it is very scarce, and then it becomes more expensive and difficult to get. That is the most difficult thing for us in the whole process of transformation as such.
Viene el desbaritado.
Later on comes the deburring, a process that was done by our ancestors and that is now done by some of the women of the association.
Luego del desbaritado,
After deburring comes scraping, then comes ripping.
más adelante viene el ripiado. Luego pasamos al tinturado.
Then we move on to the dyeing, because natural plants are used to make these dyes that today gives us very beautiful colors and can be combined and are taken from the bark of trees, fruits, leaves, a number of colors that are divine, and later with that fiber already dyed is selected and the braid is made.
Y se elabora la trenza.
Después que se hace el corte y se hace todo el proceso,
After the cutting is done and the whole process is done, they transform it at a home or they come here and do it here. They do the process of braiding by the meter, and here they are received by the meter and they are paid for their work. Here we buy the elaborated meter, and not only from the members of the organization, but also from other women in the area who also do these processes and are not part of the association, but who work with the arrow cane. They elaborate their meters, and since they know that here we transform them and that we pay them a little better for the same reason, because we give this value and we know the whole process that is done to get this meter, here they are paid a little more than the meter that they bring here.
Una vez está elaborada la trenza en diferentes pintas,
Once the braid is elaborated in different colors, it goes to the workshop and we make the fabrics with which we elaborate the products. Then the final product comes.
Bueno, nosotras tenemos una gran variedad de productos.
We have a great variety of products. Our main product is a backpack which is combined with a hammock fabric. But we make bags for the hands-free. We make wallets, cosmetic bags, we make wine bags. We have all the variety of accessories.
Variedad de accesorios también en nuestros productos.
se necesita mucha paciencia.
It takes a lot of patience and ancestral knowledge. Not everyone has a capacity that we have here in the territory.
Capacidad que se tiene aquí en el territorio, o que las mujeres del territorio,
Or that the women of the territory have to do what they do. It is really quite a wasteful work from the cutting of the leaf to the end.
desde el corte de la hoja hasta el final. Es muy complejo.
It is very complex. It takes a lot of time, dedication, apart from that, knowledge and wisdom to get a product in optimal conditions.
Bueno, ¿qué te digo?
Well, what can I tell you? Suddenly I say that this is linked to emotions.
No todos los
Not every day you wake up the same, right? So that mixture, especially to mix colors, we are going to say that men do not have it. But we women, in that sense, are more passionate.
sentidos somos más apasionadas. Y entonces,
We are more friends of the plants. We look at them with different eyes. We contemplate them and we do the same with the colors or when it comes to combining to get one or another color.
uno u otro color. Entonces, pues el hombre más que todo
The man is mostly dedicated to what is the cut. He can do the trimming and can do the scraping, some of them to the sewing.
costura. Por ejemplo, en la zona de
To the area of the department of Córdoba, we have noticed that men sew more than women. Here in Sucre, we see that women sew more than men.
que los hombres, la caña flecha. Entonces,
The caña flecha, in that sense, I believe that women put more passion and love into what we do in relation to producing the caña flecha.
con la caña flecha.
Llegó el señor Ulises acá.
Mr. Eloises Oviedo arrived here with Edwin Briva, and they started to get to know the process that we are doing. The certification process was done there, and if we complied with the guidelines and all the requirements to belong to the green business window, as we were doing, the whole process was done, and last year we were certified by TvAgro as a green business.
Bueno, para nosotras al principio
At the beginning, it was a little difficult for us, wasn't it? Because we were not used to making a product and we did not have a market to take our products to.
a dónde llevar nuestros productos.
But with time and thanks to the institutions, starting with TvAgro
Pasando pues por ofSucre y
and other friendly entities here in Sincelejo, we started with all this transformation and we were given spaces to promote and make known what is being done here.
dando a conocer lo que aquí se hace. Para nosotras es muy importante ya
For us, it is very important because it helps us to give more added value to our handicraft products. We support and we are minimizing those factors that damage the environment.
factores que que dañan el medio ambiente. Nuestros productos son
Our products are dying is only through natural plants that we use and we have here in the middle.
Naturales que utilizamos y que tenemos acá en el medio. A través de la ventanilla de negocios verdes.
Through the green business window, we take out our environmental policy, where we support us more, and this helps us that our products have more added value for the market to which is directed.
Al cual está dirigido.
La caña flecha,
The caña flecha for us is something emblematic.
algo emblemático. Para nosotros
It is an asset, one of the best cultural references that we have here in the territory. For what we do in our company, the caña flecha is the base. It is our raw material.
es nuestra materia prima principal.
The caña flecha for us means tradition,
Tradición, cultura,
culture, and culture means beauty enhancement for women.
de belleza para la mujer.
Sí hay que hacer un trabajo grande.
Yes, we do a great job to protect it. In fact, it is becoming extinct. At the moment, we are producing an arrow cane that is called coastal, which is born on the seashore. It is an arrow cane that is textured, is quite thick, ordinary, and there is a lot of influence from outsiders.
Bien, ¿qué te digo? Hay mucha influencia de personas externas
Who is in eagerness to increase their economy,
por la economía o por aumentar sus economías, le están metiendo mucho químico.
are putting a lot of chemicals, and they are losing their native arrow cane with that soft texture that makes a difference when making the product.
Elaborar el producto porque cuando
Because when you find a product that the texture is quite hard, brittle, there is the chemical.
ahí está el químico. Nosotras como negocio verde
We as a green business are very careful, and therefore we have our environmental policy in the sense that we should not for any reason apply chemicals to the raw material with which we make our products.
¿Por qué es importante? Pues porque ese es el legado, ese es el futuro, ese es...
If we do not take care of the environment, there will not be a generation, or our children or grandchildren in the future will not have the opportunity to have these spaces that we have here today.
y es una preocupación que tenemos. Bueno,
It is a concern we have. We are working with the young people and we are talking to them. We are working with an ecological collective to be able to work with young people
para poder trabajar en los jóvenes la cultura.
on the culture of preserving the caña flecha. To preserve this cultural asset because it is being lost, and we are telling the women themselves that if this is the raw material, we should plant it in the patios of the house. Next to a bush of roses, there can be a bush of caña flecha, and here we have it. So it is not impossible to preserve it.
Es un proceso que se está haciendo y que
It is a process that is being done, and it is difficult because today with globalization and all these technological tools that have young people quite absorbed, it has been for us hard task that we are doing and we will not stop doing
para que nuestros jóvenes
so that our young people give continuity to all this legacy that comes from the tradition in our families.
pues nosotras a futuro
In the future, we hope and dream that our products will be exported to other countries. It is our dream to export our products because we have quality and design in our products.
productos porque contamos con una calidad bastante buena y calidad y diseño en nuestros productos.
Nosotros esperamos
We hope to grow as a company, leaving good legacies to the new generations. We want to work with this ancestral rescue
rescate ancestral y que nuestros hijos
and that our sons and daughters continue with this cultural legacy that is very important.
importante. Ahorita pues estamos colocando
Now we are placing all that ancestral knowledge and that knowledge at the service of the people, even at the service of the academy, as an ally to be able to show the world what we have.
mostrarle al mundo lo que tenemos. Ya no es como antes que
It is no longer like before, when our ancestors kept everything there. We want the world to know what the Indigenous women do. All these places we have, All these ancestral resources we have, we are placing them at this moment at the disposal of the people, so that the people can live. This is beautiful and this is life. This is the future.
Esto es futuro. Yo no sé, yo creo que la satisfacción de poder servir.
I believe that the satisfaction of being able to serve, of being able to be with people, of being able to leave footprints without mistreating, or being able to contribute to the construction of peace in this country, of being able to build citizens who pinch themselves, who have an impact, who work for their territory, who defend their realities, who are there when faced with any situation that arises in their territory, who build a country from their territory.
Construyan país desde el territorio.
Lo que más me gusta es la comercialización.
What I like the most is marketing, because personally, it has given me the possibility and the opportunity to be in different scenarios. It is, as the fairs have said, that is the part that I like the most, apart from doing it, because I also transform my work into a machine, and it is something that I also like very much.
Para nosotras, las mujeres,
For us women, the fact of advancing in a process like this, where previously women could not speak, could not go out, could not propose, for us it is a great achievement and a great advance from the organizational and participatory point of view. To be able to be here today telling Colombia and the world that women are not only women, mothers, sisters, but that from us,
madres, hermanas, sino que desde nosotras hay muchas cosas para dar.
there are many things to give for the construction of this country, for the construction of an egalitarian society, a clean society.
Limpia para nosotras como mujeres.
We as women have a great commitment with the Colombian society because we put our hearts into what we do, and because we are those, we are passion.
Y porque somos eso, somos pasión.